This is the PrairieLearn Homeworks Invalid Grading. My name is Ben. For the high-level overview, we are on number 15, the Invalid Grading Errors and Solution. For this video, we're going to be going over invalid grading problem and the solutions that I have come up with for the problem. So our problem is that if there is blank answers left on a question, then it will give you this error which says invalid, not gradable. Find my mouse. It says invalid, not gradable, which is bad because say a student runs out of time, then the entire question would just be a 0 instead of any type of partial credit. So my solution for this, I have two solutions for this type of problem. You either allow the answers to be blank if they are fill in the blanks, or you make the questions not able to be blank by giving in a temporary solution. So for this one, for all of this matching, all of the technical solutions are A, so then they'd get at least probably one of them correct, but then the rest of them would not be correct. So how to implement solution? Solution number 1, allow blanks. So for all of the questions, string inputs, number inputs, integer inputs, there should be a allow -blank type. You're just going to set that to true. And then that should be allowing you to put blank answers that should be gradable. For the integer and number, you can use the blank value property here, so blank -value, and you can set that to whatever number you want to. For the string value, it's just going to be empty quotes for your blank value. How to implement solution number 2, don't allow questions to be blank. So questions like drop down or matching, you can check the PL or the PrairieLearn documentation for the word blank. I'll put the link for the PrairieLearn documentation in the description, but it's going to tell you basically what I'm telling you here. So you have your matching HTML right here, where you do PL matching. Right here you can put blank equals false, which would not allow anything to be blank. And then down here you can see here that the first answer, or the answer that is in all of here, is just the first default answer. So here's an example problem. So you have a drop down and it just says mark this question as true. The drop down is true false. You can see here in the HTML that there's two answers, true or false, and you see that true is the true correctness and false is not the true correctness. So then when you leave it blank, it says invalid, not gradable. So here's my example solution. It looks exactly the same. What you're going to want to do is I added a blank answer here. I'll go over that in a second. But on the drop down, I added a blank equals false, and then I did sort equals ordered. And then I added a blank answer, which is still technically incorrect. But then it just gives you the feel of that blank answer being there. And then I did this sort equals ordered, so that way it would always be blank on the top, as the default answer is always the top answer. So that way it wasn't default false or default true, it would always be default blank. So that way it would be by default always incorrect. And then you see here I left it blank and it gave a 0, so it was graded as incorrect, but it's better than being graded as not gradable. So the exception for these, for this error will always go off on multiple choice and order blocks, as there is no default answer for those types of questions. I can double check in the PrairieLearn documentation, but I think only those two are the exception to this presentation. For the next video, you're going to be going over external gradings and auto graders.